Well, that's another day of that. Time to play some video games. Alright, let's see what we got here. I could play some Train Sim World. Nah, not really feeling that. Okay, let's see what we got in the other area of the console, Could play Phantasy Star Online. No, don't really want to play that. What else? No, I don't really want to play Tales of Arise right now. Why do I still have The Sims? Like, why do I still have it? What the? What's that next to it? Is that? Oh, hell yeah. Let's play some Sonic. Hello, everybody. I'm Awesome WallE, and this is WallE Talks. Sonic Unleashed is a game that's very special to me. It's my personal favorite Sonic game, and I've wanted to talk about it since this show began, but I couldn't for technical reasons. Now, I know plenty of people have talked about this game many times in the past, but now it's my turn to give my analysis and thoughts on it. Now, before I get started, I'm talking about the Xbox 360/PlayStation 3 versions of the game, not the Wii/PS2 version, and definitely not the phone version. This video is strictly about the HD version of Sonic Unleashed. I'll be saving the other two, or potentially three, for another time. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, and there will be spoilers about the game in this video, so yeah. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Sonic Unleashed. Now, the game begins in outer space as Sonic and the Dr. Eggman, are at it again, battling each other in an opening cutscene that, despite being 16 years old, still has yet to be surpassed in how visually stunning it looks. Oh, and we get to see Sonic use Chaos Emeralds and go Super. However, the Doctor captures our beloved Super Sonic and quite literally rips the Chaos Emeralds out of him and fires a massive laser into the Earth, shattering it into multiple pieces and prematurely awakening a being known as Dark Gaia. And as a result of this being's awakening, Sonic transforms into a werehog, a werewolf-like transformation that only occurs at night. With the power of the emeralds completely drained, Sonic is ejected out of the window by Eggman, beginning the journey of this game. Sonic, of course, survives the fall and encounters a creature with amnesia he nicknames Chip, after seeing him crave a chocolate chip sundae. Anyway, the two encounter Tails, who takes them to the city of Spagonia via his plane, the Tornado, to meet Professor Pickle, only to find out he has been kidnapped by Eggman, along with the Gaia manuscripts. Now, for those of you who don't know what they are, they contain the information on what the hell is going on. So they travel to Missouri, this game's version of Africa, to rescue our beloved Professor Pickle, who gives them insight on what is going on. So let's get some backstory going on. Every few million years or so, Dark Gaia rises up and breaks apart the planet in an attempt to destroy it. But since Eggman prematurely woke the thing up, they have a chance at repairing the planet by restoring the power of the 7 Chaos Emeralds with the Temples of Gaia, which are scattered throughout the world. So, Sonic, Chip, and their chauffeur Tails embark on a world adventure to restore the planet. Now, before we, continue with the story, let's take a look and see what characters are going to be joining us on this adventure across the world. First up, we got our main hero of this game, Sonic. Now, he's still the Sonic we all know and love, but given the situation going on with the planet, he's taking the situation a lot more seriously instead of cracking jokes at inappropriate times. Oh, and also, he forms a relationship with Chip, the little guy I mentioned before, and it is genuinely very wholesome. Oh, speaking of Chip, I love this little guy. I know a lot of people find him annoying, but I think Chip is one of the best parts about this game. His dynamic with Sonic is peak, I must say, and he's such a fun character to watch with all the visual humor involving him. Now, he does regain his memories at the penultimate temple of the game, revealing himself to be Light Gaia, the opposite counterpart to Dark Gaia, whose goal is to restore the planet when Dark Gaia breaks it apart. Now, Tails and Amy do make appearances in this game, but they mainly take a back seat for the most part. But as I said before, Tails is basically your chauffeur around the world. For Professor Pickle, he is crucial to the story as he informs you where each temple is, and even comes with you to one of the countries in the game. Also, he's Professor freaking Pickle. And for Eggman, this is easily his best appearance in the whole franchise. At the beginning of the game, he basically whoops Sonic and unleashes Dark Gaia and finally gets to build Eggman Land towards the climax, which is something he's been trying to do for years. And my man finally won! Oh, speaking of Eggman Land, let's get back to the plot. The final temple of the game is actually inside of Eggman Land, believe it or not, resulting in an amazing final level, which is hard, but also very long, but still amazing. So, the last emerald is restored, but Eggman comes to rain on our hero's parade as Dark Gaia has finally matured. After a showdown with the Doctor, Dark Gaia of course betrays him and rips the Werehog out of Sonic, and it is never to be seen again, not counting spin-offs. Chip summons all the Gaia temples, creating a Gaia Colossus, and proceeds to beat the crap out of Dark Gaia for a little bit with Sonic's help. However, Dark Gaia begins to drown the world in darkness and transforms into perfect Dark Gaia. However, Sonic uses the recharged Chaos Emeralds to go super, and with the help of Chip, he defeats perfect Dark Gaia and saves the world. The battle takes a toll on Sonic and he ends up passing out only to be saved by Chip, who gives him a final goodbye and sends him to the surface, while Chip himself is sealed back within the planet with the remains of Dark Gaia. Sonic wakes up and finds Chip's bracelet and wears it on his wrist in remembrance and looks out onto the horizon to a rising sun, ending the game. So yeah, that's the plot of Sonic Unleashed. Out of all the games in the franchise, this has the best story of them all. It's not too serious like Shadow the Hedgehog or 06, nor is it too silly like many of the games that follow it. To me, it is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Now for the gameplay, let's start with the daytime stages. This is the first 3D Sonic game that implements the boost formula, which was first pioneered in Sonic Rush, a DS game. For those of you who don't know what the boost formula is, it's a gameplay style that allows Sonic to boost through stages at incredibly fast speeds. Out of all the games that utilize the boost, this is the game where it definitely feels like you're going the fastest you've ever gone before. I mean, just look at this. The overall controls feel pretty good, and I know some people have a problem with the homing attack being on the same button as the boost, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't really mind. Also, I like how the drift isn't something that is like dead easy to do, and instead, it's something you have to master. So, for example, if you get the drift perfect, it feels a lot more satisfying that way. Alright, with the daytime stages, done, but, I'm done talking about them. Let's move on to the nighttime stages, aka the Werehog. Let's start with what I don't like about the Werehog, and I'm gonna be honest, there's not much. First of all, the levels can be a bit too long, with some of them reaching about half an hour in length. Next, some of the platforming sections don't include a drop shadow, which makes it fairly challenging to actually stick a landing. And that's all the complaints I have, really, because, believe it or not, I actually do like the Werehog, and I actually really enjoyed the beat-em-up combat mechanic in the game. There's so many combos you can pull off and they're worth it if you want to get that S rank. You can also upgrade his stats and unlock more combos and make the Werehog even stronger and more durable with all the experience you collect in the levels. Now, you can do the same thing in the daytime levels with upgrading Sonic, but it only really applies to the boost meter and his overall speed, so it's not really all that much. And now, it's time to talk about the final boss in terms of gameplay, because it is fairly different, in some aspects at least. Now, controlling the guy Colossus in the first half is an absolute chore. He's very slow, and the punches take forever to charge him, and not only that, they need to be timed perfectly or else you're gonna get hurt. And you have to do this 3 times. However, you do get some daytime Sonic gameplay, spliced in between and at the end. But it's with a strict time limit that it's not really a big problem for me. And now, the Super Sonic boss fight. This is much better than the regular Dark Gaia boss fight in my opinion. While it's a bit clunky to control Super Sonic, and yeah, the Gaia Colossus is basically the time limit, it's very cinematic and I do enjoy it a lot, but it will leave you with a sore thumb. Now, I'll mention the Sun and Moon medals real quick right here, as they're sometimes a pain. They are a required collectible, and as you progress through the game, you're going to need a certain amount to, access more levels. Normally, I don't have much of a problem with them, as I normally manage to collect enough without having to backtrack in the game. So yeah, I thought that'd be one thing some people would want me to talk about real quick. The last thing I want to mention about in Sonic Unleashed is the presentation of the game. This is without a doubt the best looking Sonic game in the series. This was the first game to utilize the Hedgehog engine, and it made a gorgeous first impression in this game. The environments have so much detail, and even to this day, they still hold up amazingly well. Each area of the game is based off of a real-world location, and the amount of detail in the levels and in the hub worlds is stellar. And don't get me started on the humans, as this is the best they've ever looked in the franchise. They're stylized and fit right into Sonic's world, much better than how they looked in Sonic 06. And the cherry on top is the soundtrack. This game has the best soundtrack in the whole franchise. The themes used for each country use very specific instruments you'd expect that region of the world to have. And also, the final boss theme is peak. Listen to this. Overall, despite some of the flaws that this game has, Sonic Unleashed is a really good game, and in my opinion, it's Sonic's best adventure. From its great story, to the beautiful visuals, and to the amazing soundtrack, I love this game, and which is why I'm here to give it a 10 out of 10. This is my personal favorite Sonic game, and I can't imagine a world without it. It means so much to not just me, but to my brother as well. And if he's watching this, love you, bro. So, with all that said, thank you so much for watching Season 4 of WallE Talks, because this is the season finale. So, no more Season 4. No more. Instead, I will see you all in Season 5. Hopefully, next week. Bye-bye!